Global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello beautiful people, welcome back to Global Happiness Today YouTube channel. Quick update on what is happening in PEPT, Presidential Election Petition Tribunal. Don't forget that there have been timetable on how it will marshal out and how the verdict will look like, so that we'll have this date on our fingertips. And also don't forget, very quickly, there seemed to be one acceptance, if you can recollect, during the whole PEPT tribunal, that's Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, where LP, INEC, APC, Labour Party, PDP and the rest, there was one that was a bit hanging. Well, it looks like that has finally been trashed. Now we're going to find out in a moment how it will play out. Eventually, everybody seemed to be coming against the sitting president, Bola Tinubu. But before we go into the newspaper, to ram all these two news into one very quickly, we'd like you to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button. Beside it, you will see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. One quick update on the next PPT dates. Well, that the respondent, don't forget that the respondents still remain INEC, Bola Tinubu, Shetima, Kashim Shetima, then of course APC. They will be having their final written address on July 17. I repeat, July 17, 2023. Then the petitioner, this time around we're looking at Labour Party, and that's Labour Party and Obi, will be responding on July 25th. That's the final written address, will be on July 25th, 2023, which is about roughly 7 days after the respondent's address. Then, of course, the respondent's reply, which still remains Bola Tinubu, INEC, Shetima, Kashim Shetima, and APC, they will now be replying July 31st, 2023, which is roughly about 5 days after the petitioner's address. Then there will be adoption of these addresses, all the addresses, which will take place August 1st, 2023. Then the PEPT judgment, which is what everyone is waiting for literally, will be announced. But remember, the count of days includes all weekdays. Okay, count of days includes all weekdays from Monday to Saturday, but excludes on Sundays. And of course, the latest possible date for presidential election petition judgment could possibly be like September 16, 2023, which is about maximum of 180 days of filing of petition. So let's just keep this date on our fingertips. But let's find out literally what went down in court some few minutes ago. Well, according to the news, the Presidential Election Petition Court, that's PEPC or PEPT, in Abuja has reserved judgment in a petition filed by the Allied People's Movement APM, challenging the election of President Bola Tinubu. It was reported that APM petition, which was actually filed on March 15, 2023, alleges that Tinubu's election was invalid because his vice presidential running mate, Kashim Shetima, was nominated twice by the All Progressive Congress APC for different elective positions. The APM has argued that the withdrawal of Kabiru Masari as the vice presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress APC invalidated the candidacy of Bola Tinubu, the party presidential candidate. The party said there was a 3-week gap between the time Masari expressed his intention to withdrawal and the time he was officially replaced by Kashim Shetima. The APM argued that this meant that Tinubu's candidacy has elapsed by the time he nominated Shetima as his running mate. The party also said that Masari's initial nomination activated the joint ticket principle enshrined in the constitution, and that his subsequent withdrawal invalidated the said joint ticket. As a result, the APM is asking the PEPC to declare that Shetima was not qualified to contest as vice presidential candidate of the APC as of February 25th, when the election was conducted by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), and to nullify and void all the votes scored by Tinubu in the presidential election. The PEPC says it will communicate the date of the judgment to the parties in due course. The APM petition is the latest legal battle challenging Shettima's alleged double nomination. In May, the Supreme Court dismissed a petition filed by the People's Democratic Party (PDP) challenging Tinubu's eligibility to run for presidency. Okay, but let's look at the technicalities that APM are calling. There seem to be similarity between what they're asking for from the technical ground they're coming from. There seems to be a similarity between what they're asking that the court should do against Bola Tinubu and that of Peter Obi. Don't forget that there was also a placeholder that the then DG of Labour Party, while Peter Obi was looking for a running mate, of which they were hopeful that they probably look at Kwangwaso stepping in as the VP, of which Kwangwaso then was hopeful that he would not step as VP, that he's a better or well-known politician than Peter Obi, and he has been in the field playing politics, and he has the whole of Kanu at his beck and call, and Peter Obi really does not have anything to show, does not have structure. That if there's anybody that should be a vice president, should have been Peter Obi, and while he runs for the presidency. While that was going on, Dr. Donyu Okunkwe was now used as a placeholder, just like Masari was used as a placeholder for Bola Tinubu. So if that technicality passes through and Peter Obi gets this case, they will use that same technicality to knock out Peter Obi if eventually that pulls through. If it pulls through, they can use that also to knock out Peter Obi, and then we are left with Atiku Abubakar. If you remember very vividly, it was only Atiku Abubakar in all the three major candidates or presidential aspirants that never did any placement or placeholder. He took Okowa from the beginning. Okowa stayed with him throughout to the end. So if they begin to use on the technical grounds of placeholder, if they knock out Bola Tinubu on this, which I strongly doubt anyway, they would likely have to knock out Peter Obi on that same technicality. But I strongly doubt it, because they were coming on the grounds of that double nomination that Shettima did, of which there have been a ruling in the Supreme Court to that effect. Because what they were coming in the first instance was that Shettima, when Shettima resigned, when he took the form as the vice president, he was still a senator, so he had a form contesting for senatorial seat from his home state, of which, according to INEC and according to Shettima, that they resigned and picked the form. So the technicality, PDP did it to the level of Supreme Court, of which it was trashed out. In fact, they literally got angry, was almost finding the lawyer that came through with that. And now they're not saying that they're not coming on that ground. They're coming on the grounds of double placement, as in a placement using a placeholder. I don't know if it will fly, but they say they'll definitely give their verdict on that. But I feel that the verdict may not be favorable to APM. I'm just preempting. I may be wrong. Well, but then that's what it is. Let's see how it plays out. But don't forget to keep it there. If there's a change in the date of the PEPT, we'll definitely communicate further. That's where we're going to wrap it up. Let's meet in our comments.